All right, guys, welcome back to Garage Stories with Eddie G. Part 2 of Jayden's story, where we left off was he was getting ready to get out of Hendrick Motorsports, and he is now going to Action Express. And his IMSA journey, going through Le Mans, his race winning story. Enjoy.
He said, "Well, I know, you know who Chris Mitchum is?" And I said, "No, sir." He said, "I got a buddy named Chris Mitchum. He actually works over at Action Express. He's the director of race operations over there." He said, "If you want to, I'll give you his number. You can reach out and see if they need anybody." And I was like, "Okay, yeah."
This
Cool.
goes all the way back to the networking.
It does, yeah.
You don't know when the opportunity is going to pop up, who you're going to talk to, but dude, when it does, you just need to jump on it.
Exactly, that's exactly what I did. It's funny that fate, whatever it was, ended up happening that way because, like I said before with Mr. Carroll, he's like, "Have you heard of Action Express?" Never heard of them. Never thought in a million years that I would go work for Action Express.
Yeah.
Didn't even know what they were about. And literally, here's this guy telling me, "I can get you a job on Action Express." And at the time, obviously, before I started, I did not know how storied this team is.
Yep.
And what they mean, not only in sports cars racing, but in motorsports in general.
Mm-hmm.
I drive over to Denver, North Carolina. I'd maybe been there once to see a buddy of mine that still lives there before that. And I drive down to this shop that is
Not HMS.
a closet compared to HMS.
Yep.
And there's literally this old sign out front. Just says and literally the first thing I think of when I see this logo is the Colgate toothpaste 2 lines thing back in the day, the blue and red. So I'm like, oh man, what the hell? So I pulled up.
Walking into?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is gonna be an adventure. So I'm in my HMS gear, and yeah, I drive up and there's 2 doors at the Action Express shop. There's a main door for where the secretary's desk is, and then there's another door. So I walk in the second door to the right. I'm sorry. I walked in the main door. So I walked in the main door. There's nobody in there. There's nobody in the office to the left. There's nobody in the office to the right. And there's a third office all the way down. So I walk through this little hallway that connects all these offices. And there's a guy sitting in there. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm Jayden Clark. I work over at Hendrick Motorsports. And, so-and-so referred me to you guys and said you might be looking for somebody. I was wondering if you guys were looking for any, part-time help." And he said, his name's Michael Rumpf. He was my direct boss before Chris. He's the logistics supervisor. Shout out to Michael. Not to kind of spend too much time on this, but Michael, Michael is, seriously, shout out to Michael.
Nice. So tell me, before we get too far in, what is Action Express? For a lot of people that, again, they've heard of the Penske's and the HMS and the Gibbs and so on and so forth. What is Action Express?
So, actually, peep the hat.
Yep.
So, Action Express is a IMSA sports car GTP team currently. They've been in sports cars since.
So GTP is the new labeling for LMP.
Correct. So
more so LMP1.
Correct. Yeah. So this is way past the LMP1 days now. But
Yep.
Yeah, anybody that knows WEC World Endurance Championship or knows the term hypercar, a GTP car, a Grand Touring prototype, is the quote-unquote American version of a hypercar. Yep. It is what is known as an LMDH car, while its sister car in WEC is an LMH car. So, Action Express is an IMSA Grand Touring prototype team. For anybody that doesn't watch IMSA or that doesn't know what that is the top of the top in IMSA.
It's the pinnacle. No, it's not just IMSA, man. To me, that is the top of racing. It goes beyond any rally. It goes beyond any NASCAR or stock car. it goes beyond F1 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You have drivers from all over the world, from every single racing series ever made, that will go and attempt to qualify to just even put their butt in one of these cars.
Yep.
So you worked for Action Express, and this is where I'm geeking out, but you worked for the top of the top. I mean, an Action Express is just kicking ass. I mean, they are extremely competitive. For my background, when I was at Audi, I followed the R8, and not the road-going R8, but like the open cockpit R8, the R10, the R15, and then the R18. These are all LMP1. This is where I know LMP.
Yep. Back in the day, man. Yeah.
Yep. And I remember when the dealership first opened up, Pembroke Pines Audi, it just opened up as an Audi dealership. I was there for the grand opening, and they pull out this like R10, and it's like actual. I don't know if it won Le Mans. I think it placed in Le Mans, but it was a actual race-winning chassis, and they just rolled into the showroom for like the grand opening. I'm sitting there. I was like, dude, I'm in all that, whatever. The guy comes to pick up the car in the hauler. And at the time, I was a lot less round than I am now. I was one of the shorter guys and the skinnier guys, and I was the only one that can actually fit in the cockpit of this thing. And they're like, cool, you're going to drive it into the hauler. We're going to push it, and you're going to drive it. So to me, I was like, I'm a race car driver. That's it. To me, that was everything. So you're working for this team, or I'm sorry, you're walking in, you meet this guy.
Yeah.
So go along.
Yeah. So yeah, I walk in and I meet Michael. I don't know, and he told me multiple times, I don't know. This was just me being me, right? The way I was raised, yes sir, yes ma'am.
Yep. That goes a long way, man, especially in today's culture, that you don't see that anymore.
Right. Yeah. And for Michael is from, and Michael can correct me if I'm wrong if he ever sees this. Michael's from Michigan.
Okay.
So Michael's mother worked in racing. She was actually a NASCAR executive. So Michael's, he worked in racing. He worked for AJ Foyt. So he is no stranger to this.
He probably knows Glenn Feisty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Michael knows a lot of people. Andy Petrie, the Earnhardts. I mean, you know it. You name it. So, yeah, I walk in and I introduce myself to Michael, and he's like, well, yeah, let me come back and let me give you a tour of the shop. And he's like, sorry, all the guys are they're off today because we're actually getting ready to go to the racetrack. And at the time, I've got a funny story about this for later, but they were going to Indianapolis last year. So end of the, let me see, this was 24. So yeah, towards the end of the 24 season, Indianapolis, the 6 hours Battle on the Bricks.
Yep.
So yeah, they were getting ready to go to Indy, so they were off. I want to say I came in on which this actually tracks, maybe a Monday.
Okay.
Or a Thursday, something like that. Usually the way it would work is we would load on a Friday, and then we'd have 4 days off. So we'd have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then on a Wednesday is when we would travel to the track. So, yeah, Michael gives me a tour of the shop, and we start talking a little bit, and we talk about our mutual acquaintance. And he said, well, why not full-time? I was like, well, and I kind of explained it to him. I've said, absolutely. Like, I just said part-time because
you already have a part-time gig.
Right. So just to pick up some extra money, like, yeah, definitely gain some more experience, maybe do some more new guy grunt work. Yep. He was like, well, we actually, about a year ago, a new job position here got approved by the owner. And he said, we need a parts guy. And I was like, oh boy. I've never
been a parts guy.
Exactly. I've never, especially when you're talking about dealing with millions of dollars worth of parts.
You just went from going on a NASCAR car, which what they say is a $300,000 car, $350,000 car to a multi-million-dollar hypercar.
Yep. Yeah, this is where the jump I meant is coming in.
That's a huge.
I already have people looking at me and believe that I'm at the pinnacle that are into NASCAR.
Yep.
I'm like, this is the tip of a very, very large iceberg. And this is the small tip.
Yep.
So, yeah, long story short, I started with Action Express a little after Indy, September 24th. So, started September 24th. Here's where this funny story comes in. So, I find out a little bit later after I had started that at Indy, the team had a mechanical issue, and they got taken out of the race basically at like 2 hours in.
Damn.
It was just from the way,
which is not long in.
not in a 6 hour.
No.
Right. That's barely. You're getting the tires up to temp.
Yep.
So, yeah, from the way the guys explained it, it was not good. So, what do you do when you have a crappy day like that, and you're pretty much, you pack up, 4 hours before the race is over and get out of there before everybody else, so there's no traffic and nothing else to worry about? You go drink.
Oh gosh.
Like many teams do when you've had and this is a crappy day.
Dude, any day that the car doesn't any day that the car doesn't cross the finish line is a crappy day.
Right.
But 2 hours into a 6 hour race, that's pretty rough.
Exactly. And this is a bad day when I'm telling you the story. To get that out of the way, you should see race teams on a good day when we win.
Oh yeah.
So
I've heard the stories.
Dude, and you're going to hear more about him. My crew chief, his name's Bill. So it's Bill, pretty much all of our mechanics, some other guys, and then it's Chris, our director of race operations. So they all decide to get together with one of the Dallara engineers, a close guy. His name's Max, that works closely with the team. He is the designated Dallara engineer for the team. Anybody that doesn't know who Dallara is the chassis supplier, actually the car supplier, essentially. Everything that is not the power plant for the Cadillac V-Series GTP car and the hypercar. So yeah, Max is like, oh, well, we're in Indianapolis. Max lives there because that's obviously where Dallara is based out of. He knows all the hip spots.
Oh boy.
Anybody that knows Max, Max is a extrovert. Like, he's not an extrovert. He's an introvert when it's time to work. When it's time to go out, Max is full on extrovert. He knows all the spots. So Max tells all the guys about like these cool bars to go to, and anybody that's never been to Indianapolis is very LGBTQ plus friendly.
Oh boy. Oh man, I could just envision like the Blue Oyster Bar.
Oh, it was something. And for you to truly appreciate this, you would have to meet Smitty, the car chief. He is he's only in his 40s, but he is an old school. He's this 6 foot, tatted up, Harley Davidson, bald, big ass beard, biker guy. So yeah, he does not take too kindly to that community.
Oh boy.
So Max basically sends him on this spree to like all these gay bars.
Oh god.
And the other guys don't really mind. They're like, yeah, this is cool. Like, we're just here to get a drink.
I mean, the way I look at it is, if I'm at a gay bar and I get a free drink, it's still a free drink.
Oh yeah. That's how I would look at it too. But for Smitty, no.
Oh boy.
As soon as I want to say they probably went to, by the time they made it to the second one, the first one he was cordial about it. He was like, no, we got to go. Second one barely made it in. From the way he told the hostess, this is a nice place, but I got to get the fuck out of here. And the way he described it was, he was visibly upset. Like, he was like, no. He was like, I'm leaving. Like, you guys can stay. I'm going back to the hotel. So of course all the guys left with him, like, we're not going to leave him alone. And at that point, somewhere along the way throughout the night, everybody had gotten so,
Happy?
yes, a little under the influence that they decided to rent those little Lime scooters that you can rent.
Oh, gosh.
And they were like, okay, well, to cheer Smitty up, we're going to go to the strip club. So they start making their way to this strip club that's like miles away. I don't know.
In a Lime scooter.
Yeah, in the middle of Indianapolis at night, which is already sketchy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they start taking off and never made it to the strip club. The rear end mechanic, Chris and Bill, and I want to say the guy that was the other mechanic at the time, all fell off of these scooters. Chris, keep in mind, Bill and Chris have been doing this a long time. Years, like 20, 30 plus years.
They should not be on a Lime scooter.
These guys should not be running more than 20 feet, let alone riding scooters.
Oh, gosh.
They both somehow crashed. Chris just like fell over. Didn't even like crash, just literally stopped and just fell over. Hurt his hip. Bill cracked a rib.
Oh, my gosh.
And the rear end mechanic, he literally he got hurt somehow too. I don't know if the other guy fell. Yeah, these guys got really messed up. So that was literally me coming in on my first day.
And these guys are coming in on casts.
Yeah, and this was the story that I heard. If you know Bill he's obviously old school. Born in the 70s. Like, he's been in racing for a long time. He does not complain. Bill, I didn't even know he was hurt. He didn't say anything. He literally did not say anything until the end of the week, and he started rubbing his side. He was like, yeah, man, I'm freaking sore. He's like, my rib, dude, I think I cracked a rib. And I was like, what the hell? So, yeah, I'm this young new kid just coming in, and Michael was like, sorry, Indy was rough. Yeah, because I was supposed to start that day. They had some issue with the flights, and Michael was going to miss my start day. So he actually had to take a red-eye flight.
Damn.
Out just to get back home to get enough sleep to be able to come in and get me started.
Nice.
So
you leave what, HMS Friday, and you start this Monday?
So I left HMS. I basically put my 2 weeks in at HMS, and then the way that it lined up was I pretty much had, I want to say it was like a week off.
Okay.
And then I started at Action on the
That's
September
a good decompression week.
Yeah, definitely. A lot to definitely kind of get up to speed, do more research on the series itself on Action Express.
You get to see them run for 2 hours?
Yeah, oh, dude, there's a story about Bill and the other mechanic, they missed the plane, could not get up out of bed. Bill left
to go to Indy?
To leave to go back home.
Oh, gosh.
Literally, they told Chris about this. Chris was literally sitting by himself over in a chair in the airport with his sunglasses on, trying to sleep. Car chief comes over and he's like, hey, he kicks him and he's like, Chris, this ain't good, dude. He said, Bill and Christian aren't answering their phones.
Oh, man.
And they're not here. And he just said, didn't say anything. He just nodded and went back to sleep. And he was like, okay. And Bill, the story was basically that Bill just freaked out, got up and ran to the car and dipped to the airport. And Christian called him, didn't say anything else, but so what are we going to do about this?
Figure it out.
Yeah. That's literally, if you miss the ride, man, you find your own way home. That's the rule. But so yeah, that's basically how that started.
I mean, you're starting in a fireball, basically.
Oh yeah, no, and I knew that from day one. I mean, them getting me up to speed. So before I get too far ahead, to basically break down what I did. So my official title was Parts Procurement Officer, along with the tire technician. So essentially at the shop, I was the liaison between us and Delara. Now, Michael, that job was essentially created, from what I was told, to take the weight off of Chris and Michael's shoulders. Michael was basically doing the job of and he's not Chris's assistant, but he's basically kind of what that is he's helping Chris by taking stuff off of Chris's shoulders while also doing all the parts and all the logistic stuff.
Yeah.
That's like literally, that's everything from flights to hotels to keeping up with like the decal people.
So let me ask you this. The car that you're working on in Denver, North Carolina,
Yep.
did that car, that same exact chassis that you guys set up, is that the car that would get sent to Le Mans?
No, so the way that works is, if I'm remembering this correctly, at any one time we would have 3 tubs. So for anybody that doesn't know, a prototype is not like a generic street car or a stock car that has a frame.
Right.
It is a carbon fiber tub. And when I say tub, I mean like...
It's one of my favorite words that they used to say. Monocoque.
Monocoque. Yeah. Literally, and that's the description in the Dallara parts book, like monocoque side.
Yep.
For all the parts on that. So it is literally an egg-shaped cockpit that literally comes with nothing on it except like pickup points or mounting points for the pickup points and all that. So that's what gets sent to us along with all the parts, and then we assemble around the tub. A lot of people think the car is the whole thing. The car is what the driver is sitting in.
Yep.
Everything else is just an add-on.
Yep. Chassis, suspension,
The spine,
Yep.
which is a part of the engine and the gearbox. Yep. So
Yeah, because in those cars, the engine and transmission are actually a structural component, right?
correct.
Yeah.
You cannot. That is the back half. You cannot have the back half of an IMSA car without the engine and the gearbox. And we call it the spine.
That's nuts.
So, and that's literally the technical term. Like, you would see it on our calendar. Like this week, chassis, whatever is getting spined, and that means engine gearbox is going on. So, yeah. So
the only thing that comes from the Dallara is the actual tub?
no. So every part on that car, including the wheels, comes from Dallara.
Okay.
So everything from, the tub, the electronics, the brakes.
So Dallara makes different cars. They don't just make your car or the Cadillac, so to speak.
Correct. Dallara also supplies IndyCar.
Yeah.
They also supply the chassis for IndyCar. And what a lot of people don't know is, and the bald eagle loving people may not want to know, is that Dallara created the 7th gen car.
Oh, yeah.
They are the designers of those clips.
Yep.
So yeah, that American, not to burst anybody's bubble, that American NASCAR Cup car is Italian.
Yep.
So
pretty much. I mean, it's well known. It's a spec car, basically, is what it is. Just like IndyCar is a pretty much, quote unquote, a spec car.
Right.
And you have, when you get into like the German touring car series, those are all spec cars.
Yep.
They're stock cars, but they're spec cars.
Right.
So yeah, Dallara has a hand in a ton of stuff.
They do.
I just didn't know how far they went with like the prototype cars, but it's cool that they don't just they'll produce, so to speak.
Right.
The chassis, the body panels, and all that stuff. That's pretty cool.
Right. So for certain things, Dallara is not just a manufacturer; they're also a third-party distributor. So, or a middleman, so to speak. Dallara has deals with, AP Racing, Carbon Industries, Brembo, just to name a few for like the brakes perspective.
Yep.
So this year they actually, swapped brake manufacturers. So we, of course, because Dallara is the main manufacturer for Cadillac and GM, those orders go through Dallara. So even though it's coming from, AP, Carbon Industries, Brembo, whoever, it is going through, it's being ordered through Dallara.
So you need a Brembo caliper.
Right.
You have to go through Dallara.
Through Dallara to get it from Brembo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like make sure all the parts actually work with your application type of deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Every single part is spec'd out for that car. So essentially that was my job. It was, hey, like I'd use an inventory system called Fishbowl. It was like, go in here, Bill's going to give you an order sheet. He said he's going to give you quantities, part numbers, the name of the part, and all that, and you're going to put this in, and then that's what you're going to send to Delara. It was not only taking that role up and being the liaison between them, it was also inventorying all the hardware and parts in the shop. It was working really closely with Bill. My desk was actually, I did have my own desk. Anybody that's never been, which is a lot of people, obviously, that's never been inside of Action Express's shop, there's a long wall with four desks behind the wall. Mm-hmm. And there are 2 main bays that face this wall with the desk. So my desk was all the way to the left. It was Bill, our car chief, and then one of our engineers. So I was literally in it. And that was by design. It was like, if the guys ever needed anything, they could come to me or they could come to Bill, and they didn't have to like walk across the shop or just call me or send me an email because I'm a million light years away.
You're right there. Hey, I need right front caliper ready to go on in half an hour. Go get it.
Literally.
Nice.
So basically, I was putting in orders for all those parts months in advance because this stuff takes time. Like,
oh yeah,
this stuff has to come from
everywhere.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't understand is all these parts get manufactured in Italy. Then they have to be shipped to what's called Delara LLC, which is the American wing, and then they have to come to us. Parts cannot get shipped directly from Italy to us. They have to go through LLC. It's a checks and balance process. Yep. So there were times when, and this is in no way bashing Delara or anybody. I understand, like, this is, the supply chain. It's everywhere.
Supply chain logistics. That's everything. We don't even have to go to the race side.
Yep.
Look at, we'll use Audi for an example. Audi, for the longest time on their like Q7s, were using Brembo calipers.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You don't go and call Brembo up for a caliper. You go through the manufacturer, Audi. Audi then sources it from Brembo. Brembo then ships it to somewhere in Germany. From Germany, it gets shipped to a parts house in the United States, and then from there it gets to the dealership. It never goes straight through.
Exactly.
And so yeah, I mean that's parts logistics 101, and that goes for anything. I mean, let's say you want to order a Rocket Bunny kit.
Right.
Guess what? You're not going to order it directly from Japan. You're going to order it from a U.S. LLC, whoever it is. They're going to get it from somewhere in Japan, and then it goes to you. I mean, that's everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that same exact deal. It was, yeah, sometimes we would order a part, let's say, for example, in December of 24.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see some of those parts until July of 25.
Damn. Like, you have to be
on it.
Way ahead.
Yeah.
So realistically, the car that they're running this year was planned
a year in advance.
Holy crap.
Yeah. This is how, and it's not just Delara. It's Multimatic, it's Orica.
So let me ask you this. Action Express, is this is a Cadillac factory team, or does Cadillac have their own factory team?
This is a Cadillac factory team.
So you are technically the top of the food chain.
Yep.
Like, somebody else can go in there and say, hey, I want to run this Cadillac, and they have to go through the same process on their own dime. They're taking just as long to get all this stuff, if not longer, maybe.
Correct. To my knowledge, Cadillac has no customer teams.
Okay.
It's all factory. So
yeah, because I know like Porsche has
customer teams
and factory teams.
Correct.
Okay.
Cadillac is it's Action Express and IMSA, and it's Wayne Taylor Racing.
Yep.
Before Wayne Taylor Racing, it was Chip Ganassi.
Yep.
So yeah, currently,
which that goes back to Earnhardt's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all connected together. And I'm not actually at liberty to discuss.
That's fine.
The connection between NASCAR and Action Express, but it's very deep. So
it's out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much Googling. It's out there.
Right. So yeah. For this season, it was since 23, Action Express has been a Cadillac GM factory racing team.
Yep.
Always sporting the Whelen Engineering 31.
Mm-hmm.
And then for 24, 4, it was the same thing. So originally it had been Action and Ganassi. 23, 24. Coming into 25, Wayne Taylor Racing out of Indiana, they actually took over running the 10 and the 40 car. So they were our sister team here in IMSA. And then Cadillac has one more factory team in WEC, Hertz Team Jota.
In Europe.
Correct, based out of the UK. So, yeah, Cadillac has 3 factory teams, obviously between IMSA and WEC. So, yeah, it was factory support. It was factory level expectations.
So, God, I want to get to Le Mans already. All right, so you're doing this. When is your first race that you actually go out with the guys and you do it? So Indy happened, and for anybody that doesn't know, IMSA races are not like NASCAR races that they happen every weekend. It's sometimes it can be a month in between races.
Yep.
So what you did, you missed Indy.
Yep.
What's your first official race with this team?
So my first race, my introduction to sports cars and Action Express is Road Atlanta at the end of 2024.
That's awesome.
This is Petite, which
is coming up, actually.
Well, it is.
I don't know when this is going out, but it's coming up in our timeline.
It is. The guys are actually, shout out to the guys. Hope to see you guys up there on the top step this weekend, but they're leaving tomorrow.
Nice.
Petite is this weekend. Yeah, so 2024 Petite Le Mans. Side note, still not sure why it's called Petite Le Mans. It's 10 hours instead of 12, but whatever. So
someone got too drunk after a race and was like, Petit Le Mans.
Yeah. So that was my first race. Essentially, just like I did in NASCAR, my first responsibilities were just learn and listen and help wherever I can.
I like it.
Except for that race, it was a little more, we're going to throw you into the fire without you knowing.
Oh, boy.
And we're going to see how you react. So, yeah, first race, I helping set everything up, unloading the haulers, which, by the way, for people that don't know, IMSA setup, or in sports car racing in general, setup is much more in-depth than NASCAR is. NASCAR is essentially, we're pulling the car out. Yep. If you're a mechanic. The pit road setup, as far as transporting the pit box goes,
that's a different team,
right? That's a
or company, I should
company.
say.
That's Champion that does all that, and then the actual pit crew guys set the box up.
Yep.
On an IMSA crew, because the mechanics are the over the wall guys, it's all hands on deck. So everybody unloads the hauler. We would run with 2 haulers. We call them DT and ET. So essentially driver trailer, engineering trailer.
Okay.
So this is like these massive canopies we have to set up because a lot of the tracks we go to, I think there's maybe 3 tracks that we have an actual garage at.
Damn.
So a lot of the time you set up this giant canopy off the side of one of the haulers. And then the space in between the haulers, that's where you work.
It's your garage.
Correct. And
so it's almost like what the NHRA crews do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, so it's this massive canopy, and it pretty much takes almost the entire team to set up. We got it down to about an hour and a half, but so you're setting that up. You're also putting down what's called Kiwi tile. And if anybody doesn't know what Kiwi tile is, that's essentially Swiss tracks, the plastic interconnecting floors. We set that up as like a base to work on, so we're not on concrete and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's banners that go on the canopy. That's all the mechanics equipment. That's getting tires in there. That's all the nitrogen bottles we need for the weekend, and it's a million other things. It's getting telemetry and internet set up.
So this is where I'm going to say the logistics of an IMSA car, and I'm not taking anything away from NASCAR, because that's a whole different ball game. But the logistics for an IMSA car team is way more complicated. You want a stressful job, be a logistics guy. So when you said Mike, right?
Yep.
When you said Mike's the logistics guy, I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
I know the headache that guy's got to go through. Because it's not, at that point, you need to make sure your crew guys are there.
Yep.
You need to make sure all your equipment's there. Don't forget, the pit gun that you just practiced with probably at the shop. Make sure it's on the truck.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the logistics and stuff like that. It's very impressive.
It is, and Michael is the very best in the business at what he does. Props to him, definitely. But yeah, no, it's all that setup, and then of course a NASCAR weekend is it's barely a weekend.
Yep.
It's essentially practice, qualify in the same day, and then race.
If you practice.
Right. Exactly.
So typically it's Saturday qualifying, race on Sunday, and you're gone.
Exactly. An IMSA event is like I was just telling you, the guys will be leaving tomorrow because it's Atlanta. Obviously, they drive.
So for time stamping, tomorrow will be a Thursday.
Yep.
Races on
Wednesday tomorrow. No,
today's Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday. Correct. Yeah. Right. I'm sorry. So they did leave today.
So they left today, Wednesday.
Yes.
When do they race?
They will load in tomorrow. They will not race until Sunday.
Yeah. So I mean that's a lot.
Yeah.
They're going into the track tomorrow.
Yep.
They're setting up for the track on Thursday. Green flag doesn't fly for a 10-hour race until Sunday morning.
Until Sunday at 12 p.m. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Yeah.
Noon.
Right.
So, yeah, the race ends at what, 10 p.m. at night?
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean that's a lot of setup, but they also practice.
Yep.
They qualify. 3
practices. I want to say, I think it's 3 practices on one day, and then another one, and then qualifying.
Yeah.
And then race after that.
Quick question: when they do these endurance races, do they run just one engine for all the practice, qualifying, and the race, or do they typically run like different engines for different stuff?
That depends on the team.
It depends on the team?
Correct.
Okay, so it could be new school NASCAR or old school NASCAR, kind of.
Correct.
Okay, because Bill was telling me in the podcast that we did, back in the day, they would be pulling out an engine every single day and putting an engine every single day, and they would be loading it up on haulers or even to the airport and flying them back to Charlotte to have them rebuilt and get straight back to the racetrack.
Right.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, no, it is. It's those stories.
So how did Petit Le Mans go for you?
So it was good. It was those guys are, to be a kid that had barely had at that time in total a year's worth of racing experience, to come into a team where the combined amount of experience is 200 years, something crazy like that of racing experience. It was like, it's go time.
Yeah.
So those guys, they're awesome. They were patient with me this entire season. Really learned a lot. More than I ever would have learned, if I'm being completely honest, if I would have stayed at Hendrick Motorsports. But it went good. I pretty much got, and this kind of goes into how I became the tire guy. I pretty much got thrown onto helping the guy that was the tire guy. They thought that I did such a good job that eventually they ended up giving me that job completely on my own.
The tire tech guy?
Exactly.
Oh boy.
And I mean, like, of course I had help, but I mean, like, when that was my job, like, that was my job. And at this point, the guy that had been doing it, he's an older guy, and if he sees this, he can text me or call me out on it. I want to say late 50s or early 60s. I think it's late 50s, but he's been doing it for a long time at this point, and he's already been doing this as a flying guy for the team for what's probably the past, I want to say 3 or 4 years. So he's pretty much done and ready to get out of it and pass the torch So yeah, by the time Petit Le Mans was over in October, we had to go to do a double test in November at Sebring and Daytona. So
So basically, go from Sebring and then do Daytona.
flipped, but correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I pretty much had a month, which he was still helping me at that point. It wasn't until like Daytona 24 hours, which I still had plenty of help,
Yep.
to where I was really like, okay, this is you now. So yeah, from there, I mean, yeah, Petit went great. Really, it set the expectation. The bar
Nice.
was like, the bar went from being high to astronomical. So it was the first time in racing where I had a job. Like,
That this is your task.
exactly. I had multiple tasks that can make or break a team. Like,
Nice.
I'm not only handling millions of the transaction side of millions of dollars worth of
Parts.
parts. I'm also, and Chris, he said this to me multiple times throughout my time with the team. He said, I know that a lot of guys don't want to be a tire guy. He said, it's definitely grunt work. He said, it is a very tough job. It's a dirty job. He said, and I know like a lot of, it can be underappreciated and a lot of guys don't want to do it because of that, because it's not as flashy.
Right.
But he said, think about it like this. The tires are the only thing that touch the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if the tire pressures are not good to go, if they're not in good shape, he said, that is the race right there.
Yep.
So,
And you're thinking about it. All right, cool. It's a 24-hour race. Let's say it is a 24-hour race, right? All right, you screw up one stint. That stint can be the race.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very crucial. I mean, a lot of people are like, all right, you screw up tire pressures on a NASCAR car. Cool. You're going to be pitting in, half an hour, maybe, if that. You're probably going to pit within the next 20 minutes.
right.
On a 24-hour race, you're pitting once every hour.
Yeah. An hour, if he's double, triple stinting, like
Yep.
every hour 45, 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, you screw up, you are going to be destroying the times.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is. But I was, I didn't, admittedly, I didn't want to be the tire guy. That's not exactly what I had gone to the team for, but it was, I
Bring
was
it.
proud to be the tire. Yeah, bring it. Like,
Yeah.
get anything you got, bring it on. Like, this is a time to learn and grow. And I wanted to do everything I could to help the team. So
You go to Petit Le Mans at the end of the season,
Yep.
and then you get thrown into a doubleheader test.
correct, Daytona, then straight from Daytona, we drove down to, no, I'm sorry. For this, we flew. Usually we would drive to Daytona. We flew to Daytona, drove to Sebring, and then we drove back to Daytona
And then flew home
and then flew home.
with the same two haulers,
Correct.
with the same equipment and all that stuff. So it's basically like
Full race setup for a test every time.
Damn. So all the canopies, the setup, the
Everything.
floors, all of it.
Everything.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That is way impressive.
Action Express is. You hear so many people talk highly about Action Express. It's not only because of the experience they bring, the pedigree they have, and with as little people as they have.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Action Express does not do anything half-ass.
Well, if you think about it, right, you're going to go do a test.
Yeah.
It's basically practice. It's not just the car that's practicing.
It's the crew.
It's the crew. So why not, in retrospect, you're right. Why not set up the tent or the canopy and do the whole shebang? Because guess what? If you're the new guy on the team and you've never set up on race day, well, guess what? You get to practice twice.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it was November, which that was a time crunch because we're trying to. Originally, they wanted to do it in December, which management fought against that because they were like, "We got Thanksgiving coming up," and then they were trying to give us like 2 whole weeks off for Christmas.
Yeah.
So we basically crunched all that down into November, got it out of the way. That way, we'd have the rest of the year, which I say chill out. There's no chilling out. We're ramping up for our biggest race of the year in January, which is
Yep.
the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Which is, guess what? You got to set up the car or build the car, more than likely.
Yep.
Got to build the car, set up the car, make sure the crew's good to go. I mean, now here's my question. How much of the guys that are hands-on with the car are doing pitting or doing stuff like that aren't just specialized to that? Because going back to the NASCAR side, the guys that build the car, they don't pit.
Yep.
And the guys that pit, they don't do transporting or setup or this or that. Where in this world, the guys that build the car also pit the car.
Yep.
That's awesome.
The mechanics. So IMSA is very much what NASCAR used to be. They do still use a good example. Our car chief, front changer, crew chief, rear changer, rear mechanic, tire carrier, aka Air One, the guy that plugs the car in to bring the car up, and then the fueler is the sub assembly, aka the gearbox guy.
In your particular, or in this particular team.
Correct.
That's awesome.
So,
I mean, this is really. I mean, if you think about it.
No, actually, I'm sorry. That's to clarify. That's across all of IMSA.
Oh.
Every team uses. There is no pit crew guy is not a job in IMSA. That is a. And Chris explained it best. Pitting in IMSA is a privilege. That's not a job.
Huh.
So you pay to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, you're going to be working on this car, but
you're also going to pit. Yeah. And it's the reason, at least in my opinion, as to why they do that, right? And this is not a bash against NASCAR at all. NASCAR, like you said, that's a whole nother beast altogether.
Yep.
NASCAR stock cars, for all intents and purposes, and they're designed this way, are simple.
Right.
They're made to be simple.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Gen 7 car is a little more technologically advanced in a lot of ways than the older ones are, but they're still extremely simple compared to a hypercar.
Yeah, 100%.
Or a GTP car. So you want mechanics over the wall that know what to look for, especially on things like the body, because NASCAR may have popularized the term rubbing is racing, but in sports cars, rubbing is racing.
Oh, and yeah. I have seen some awesome highlight reels.
Exactly. And you're doing it with, in GTP at least, carbon fiber bodies.
Yep.
Carbon fiber is extremely strong and durable.
Until it's not. You cannot take a sledgehammer and beat a dent out of a carbon fiber body because there is no dent.
Nope.
If it's getting pushed,
shatters.
it's shattering. Yep. What was it? I'm pretty sure it was Daytona this year. Was it Daytona this year? Where like the BMW got together with another car and they were just like bashing. And then here comes the other BMW.
So, yeah, that was, yeah, I'm not going to mention any team names.
We'll leave it at the brand.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was the GTD Pro BMW car, or the M4, the GT3 M4.
Yeah.
And one of the Corvettes, C8 Corvettes. Yeah, toward the end of that race there, they got real familiar with each other.
Yep.
Tensions were high. I mean, it's the end of a 24-hour race. Like, it's the biggest race. Everybody wants to run the Rolex.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was definitely...
There were some definitely number one salutes at the end.
There was. If there was a time to edit that whole thing into a video and slide in Harry Hogg's, like, Robinson is racing, like, that is the time to do it right there. So, yeah, like, that's every mechanic in the IMSA paddock, like, that is the main guy, is a pit crew guy.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that is definitely old school NASCAR. Because I remember hearing stories of the carburetor setup guy. He's the fueler.
Yep.
And the guy that built the engine, well, he's going to be the oil catch can guy, and so on and so forth. This was way before they realized that, hey, if we can make a 20-second pit stop down to like 15, that's 15 seconds on, or 10 or 5 seconds on track that we are now ahead.
Yep.
And that's where it started getting really competitive.
Right.
Whereas I guess on a 24-hour race, or even a 6-hour race, yeah, you still want to be competitive with your stops, but at the same time, there's probably a little bit more going on. You're probably even waiting on fuel.
Right.
So it's like, okay, cool. Well, we don't have to be so fast with the tires. Let's make sure the tires are on, and let's make sure they're secured. We're not going to lose a tire. Fuel takes 12 seconds to put in, let's say. I don't know what it is.
Right.
But, as long as we get all 4 tires on, we're good.
Exactly.
Kind of
yeah.
deal. Plus, you're also looking at the body, like you said. Make sure that, a wing is not knocked out of the way and screwing up your downforce or something like that.
Exactly.
Then you're wanting that. And those cars, like, they come off in what, like 4 pieces, the bodies do?
Yeah, so you have a nose,
Mm-hmm.
you have a tail, then you have an engine cover. So it's 3 main pieces, but like you said, on all of those main pieces, there's a bunch of smaller pieces
Mm-hmm.
that heavily contribute to aerodynamics. The biggest thing, one of the things that you'll see specifically is like when cars start getting into it, the splitter.
Yep. I actually have one.
Yeah, and
It's an LMP2 splitter, but I have a splitter downstairs, and I'm like, I don't know how to hang this thing to like display it.
right. If for anybody that's never seen a hypercar or a GTP car splitter,
You see this much of it, you see like 6 inches of it, but it's actually like 3 feet long underneath the car.
exactly. We want to talk about thickness. It is massive.
It's a big boy.
It is, and it's a lot of the times what you would see, when the car would come in is, you're rubbing inside the wheel wells. You're checking for like built up rubber. You're checking for also to see if the wicker's broken at all, which is actually a carbon fiber piece that sits right in front, or I should say at the back of the wheel well towards the mirror, that does contribute to downforce as well. A lot of the times what you'll see too is fraying on the edges of the splitter, kind of where they, whether it's from dirt, rocks.
Or like on Daytona specifically, when they're coming up the bank,
Exactly.
I mean, they're just destroying that splitter, and that's a splitter that I have.
Right.
Is off of a Daytona 24 car.
Exactly, and that's why you want those guys over the wall that know what to look for, because it's a lot more intricate details, and you can't just have guys that go over the wall whose sole job is just to make sure the car gets tires and fuel.
So let me ask you this. Is it better, from your experience, is it better to fix the car on the spot or fuel it, tire it, send it out, and get all the parts ready, and then fix it on the next pit stop? Like, what did you see most common?
So, of course, it's all situational, obviously.
Yeah.
Depends on the damage, but mostly, depending on where the damage is and how extensive it is, most of the time you're just going to send the car.
Okay.
Because it's, at least from my experience, from what I saw, a lot of the damage was minor enough to the point where the driver knows about it, the engineers know about it, we're going to manage it as best as we can, but we're not going to...
You can mess with tire pressures or
Exactly.
Some dials on the steering wheel or whatever.
Exactly. There's a million ways to compensate.
Okay.
Unless it's like...
A gone wing.
Right, the freaking end plate on one side, which this did happen at a race, like one whole side of the tail got ripped off, and like literally like the end plate, which is the end where the tail light is, was gone.
Damn.
So
What happened to it?
So
Let me be more direct. Where is it?
somewhere in the garbage, or wherever the AMR track crew threw it after Road America.
Damn.
Yeah, the driver in the car at the time, Earl Bamber, he which shout out to Earl. I freaking love Earl. Earl's awesome. Anybody that's ever watched Earl race, his nickname's Bam Bam for a reason. But yeah, no, Earl he pulled a ballsy move and basically did what a race car driver does and saw a gap and took a gap where there was one. And he went for it, passed a Porsche, and it took the end plate with it. But
Kept going.
Yeah, it and I think I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody,
That end plate's side force.
it is,
Yeah.
and that is the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to say we finished at Road America. Oh man, that seems like a million years ago now. Fourth. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we did a tail change. I'm pretty sure we finished like that.
Damn. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's fast forward a little bit. You're going through the season. Mm-hmm. You've had a couple wins, right?
No.
No?
No, we had We did not win a race this year until Indianapolis.
I was gonna say, but okay, so one win this year.
Yeah.
So at least you got a win.
Yep.
We'll say that.
Right.
Um,
A big one. Got to kiss the bricks.
that's awesome. Not many people can say they've kissed the bricks, especially not an endurance race.
Right.
So you're changing tires and you're managing parts, sort of.
Well, so at the track, I'm just doing tires. So
Carrying tires, tire carrier.
right, as a backup at this
Okay.
point. The main guy is the rear end mechanic.
Okay.
Mainly because he's way more experienced at it.
Okay.
So to kind of give you a breakdown really quickly of how close we called it, just the first string and the second string, our times are off by tenths.
Okay. Nice.
So I mean, it's not that I couldn't keep up with those guys. I mean, it's just like it comes back to using mechanics over the wall instead of pit crew guys.
Right.
You need guys that are experienced, that know what they're looking for. I'm not, I don't have that experience. I don't know what I'm looking for. This guy does, and shout out to him. If he ever watches this, his name's Christian. He is extremely switched on. I mean, like,
He knows every single point to look at.
it literally, he knows it. He knows it. He catches it during the stop.
Damn.
While he's running around with these tires and he's supposed to be focusing on pitting this car,
He's also
he's
looking
catching it
at,
out of his peripheral.
So what's the typical time for a pit stop for one of these cars?
So on a GTP car, you ideally want to be within the average is a 14-second stop. The fastest stop we have ever done, IMSA style, is, and don't quote me on this, but if I'm not mistaken, it's
Ballpark it.
10.5.
Damn. I mean, that's pretty damn quick.
It is.
That is NASCAR territory.
It
You
is.
don't have a jack guy running around, but I mean that's still pretty darn quick because you have 2 tire carriers and 2.
You have one tire carrier, aka air wand. You
Okay.
have 2 changers, and you have a fueler.
So you have less people
Yeah, you got 4 guys. Yeah,
than NASCAR, and you're approaching NASCAR
numbers.
speed.
Hot like slow NASCAR numbers. Yeah.
Oh, but it's got air jacks. Bullshit, dude. That's still impressive because the guy that's carrying the tires is not just carrying 2 tires. He's carrying all 4 tires at the same time. Or not at the same time, but he's hustling, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, normal stop, like obviously car comes in, and in IMSA, you have to hustle even more because you're not allowed to jump out in front of the car.
Yeah.
You have to wait until it stops almost
Put it up
completely. Exactly. You have to jump off the wall, plug into a hole that's about 2 inches wide, wait for the car, not wait, but you know what I mean? It takes a little time for the car to come up.
You got to put that in your dating app.
Dude,
Have Air Wand experience with IMSA cars.
you know what, dude? If I put that in there, I might get less play than I do now. But yeah, so you're plugging in. Usually you'd set the tire next to you on the wall. It would be the left front. Grabbing the left front, and in IMSA, it's awesome. You can use 2 hands. So you grab that new tire off the wall, run around. You're on the left front. Changer takes off. He takes a step back and sets the old tire off to the side. You come in, hub that one on. At that point, your new tire was carried out there by the front changer. So then you're basically doing a straddle kind of sidestep diagonally back. You're jumping backwards over that new tire, grabbing that one and hustling to the rear, and then you're putting that on. And then obviously you grab your old tires and you roll them back to the wall.
Damn.
And in IMSA, there is no, I'm going to grab this and I'm just going to chuck it and let the guy at the wall catch it. IMSA rule states you must have positive control of the tire at all times. That means in your hands.
Damn.
Yeah.
So again, it's almost more impressive than a 10-second NASCAR stop. If you can do this in 12 seconds, heck, even 14 seconds with less guys, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Plus with the extra rules. All right, so you finally get your win at Indy after probably a bunch of God knows what going through the season.
Yep.
Tell me about Le Mans. Because this is pretty much. I remember seeing you on this panel with a bunch of other graduates, and you're bringing up. Somebody asks you about Le Mans or something like that, and you're like, "Yep." I was just like, "I need more."
Yeah.
So back when I was at Audi, Audi was racing in the LMP1 category, which is the same category that you were in.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ultimate dream bucket list type things is to go to France, Le Mans 24 hours. I even told my wife, I was like, my bucket list is not just for me to go. I want to go with you, and I want to go with our baby girl. She's 11 months now, almost a year.
That's awesome.
And I want her to experience this. Like, I dreamed about it when I was, 18, 19, 20 years old, and even younger. I want her to live this, right? Like, and I want to be there for it. So, but I'd be going as a fan. I'm sure it's, if you experience, you've experienced a lot of firsts, right? Like, you experienced your first race at Daytona, well, allegedly, right? You got to show up at least for it, right? Yep. So you got to experience Daytona during Daytona Speed Weeks.
Yep.
And you got to experience, a lot in this industry in what, a year and change, 2 years?
Yeah, less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years. You went from fixing a radiator with a pick all the way up to basically jumping on, what, a 24-hour flight to France? How long is the travel?
9 hours.
9 hours of flight time.
Yep.
Plus everything else, probably.
Plus the time change, which really gets you.
Yeah. So realistically, what, 20 hours, 18 hours to 20 hours difference with time change and all that stuff. So tell me about when, how excited are you when you find out that you and the rest of the team, I'm assuming, are going to Le Mans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Le Mans was, it's like you said, right? Like, it's you don't even have to be a sports car fan. If you were a car guy and you like motorsports at all, you've probably heard of Le Mans.
Yeah.
Le Mans is it transcends, at least in my opinion, it transcends Daytona. It transcends Formula One. Le Mans is in motorsports in general, it is a cultural, just pinnacle.
Yep.
So, no, I was ecstatic. Obviously for those guys, they had already been going for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Cadillac started the GTP program in 2023. That was the first time the team went to Le Mans, which thankfully they had some time to learn a lot of lessons
before getting to Le Mans.
I got to the team.
I got
so from the way they put it when we were at Le Mans, and Le Mans is still, you never really get used to Le Mans. You're
racing a city or a town.
Yeah.
It's a massive track that is on public roads.
Yep.
Just look at the Mulsanne Straight.
Yep.
They put a chicane on there to slow guys down.
Yep.
But you have a car that is going around turns at almost three-digit speeds, 100 miles an hour around turns, and then you have a 200 mile an hour plus, straight that they hit a chicane and they can still hit 200 plus miles an hour on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So it's just mind blowing. They have a fair in the middle of the racetrack going on. There's no sleeping, or if there is, you're getting woken up by cars just flying by.
That's right.
So, you went the year after the NASCAR car went, right?
No, so
or 2 years after. It wasn't the same
2 years, right? Garage 56 was 2023.
Yeah.
Which was just so happened to be Le Mans.
Yeah, it was some iconic
100th anniversary, something like that.
Yeah. So you went in this year, 2025.
Correct.
So you get off okay, so first off, you're not taking a car from here over there.
No, we are.
You are. So the car that you built here is going over there.
Correct. So And honestly, like, this whole thing could have been about Le Mans.
Dude, this is probably going to be a 3-parter at this point. I mean, we've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a 3-parter.
So, dude, this, yeah. So, Le Mans, for anybody that doesn't know, that's never done Le Mans, obviously, which is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And for the guys that do know, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Le Mans is a logistical nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just a logistical nightmare for us being 3,000 miles or plus across the pond. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
We had to air freight the car. We had to air freight a bunch of other equipment. I want to say it was a high number.
So in Le Mans, you have your paddock.
Correct. So
you don't have to necessarily worry about your canopy or your tent.
Right, in Le Mans. So for anybody that's never seen Le Mans is I want to say there's probably, the garages are a part of pit road.
Yep.
That's pretty much how WEC or any kind of European racing is in general. So there's probably 50 plus garages. And yeah, your car, that is, your entire team works out of these garages. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look back in like a movie like Ford v Ferrari.
Yep.
Back in the day, it was just these little, like, I want to say it's probably like maybe
a garage.
Yeah, right. Like 10 by 20
Yep.
garages. It's just that. These days, they build entire structures onto the back of these garages. So, like for us, there's a whole company. I don't remember the name.
It's fine.
There's a whole company over there that gets contracted out by the track to build all these structures for the teams. So it's literally like an upstairs.
What you see on TV is...
It's a fraction.
The Ford v Ferrari garage type setup. And then like...
Behind that.
Yeah, backstage.
Exactly. That connects to the garage. It's like they put all this scaffolding up. So you've got like... It's like a building that they added onto the back. It's got an upstairs. It's got a downstairs. We're sharing this with... We're all the way to the left. Wayne Taylor's in the middle, and then you've got Joda who runs 2 cars all the way to the right.
So in this particular Le Mans, you actually had 4 Cadillacs.
Correct.
So you had Taylor running 1.
Yep.
You Action Express ran 1, and then
Joda ran 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. So yeah, you had the 31, the 10, the 12, and the 38.
And you're on the 31.
I'm on the 31.
Okay.
The red one.
The red one.
So, yeah, first day getting there, like, I'll skip past everything. First day getting to the track. I got there, it was me, Chris, and Bill. And the DHL guy, if anybody's never dealt with DHL is the nicest way I can put this, they lag behind. So,
dude, you have like FedEx, UPS, Amazon, USPS, local carrier service, NASA, SpaceX, all the way at the bottom, right behind a snail is DHL.
Yep. And this is in Europe.
Which is more common. In the US, DHL isn't very common anymore. They used to be big, and now they've pretty much gone.
Exactly.
In Europe, they're still pretty noticeable.
They are, and they do a lot of DHL does a lot of, they move a lot of things for the motorsports industry over there as a whole. So it just kind of made sense to go with DHL. Yeah, this truck driver, we got to the track at 2 p.m. their time.
Mm-hmm.
And like literally, leading up to this, we were allowed to put either a bag in the air freight or we could put a bag on the sea freight, because we also send a sea freight container. We have a giant container that gets all the stuff for Le Mans gets loaded in there and shipped like a month in advance. So they almost lost my bag. Yeah, so I had to like wait, like
next time just put it in the car.
Yeah, literally I was one of the ones that checked my bag on the plane. They literally almost lost it. I had to like wait there for an extra almost 2 hours because they put it on another flight, and I had to wait for that flight to come in. So we're already behind schedule, and my crew chief and Chris,
so it's your fault.
Oh, yeah. No, it was definitely like it was the airline, but it was my fault. So yeah, we're 2 hours behind schedule already. You would have thought that the truck driver would have been there with the crate that had the car in it already. No. The truck driver did not show up to the track for we've been there for 3 or 4 hours. Our entire first day, while everybody else was in Paris getting to explore and sightsee, nope. Us three, we were there at the track. Our entire first day was literally from the airport waiting at the track.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because you can't set up, you can't
Nope.
double check things, you can't do.
Not without the team there. And not without the sea freight container. We had to wait on that too. That came the next day.
Damn. That's rough, man.
Meanwhile, all these other teams from Europe that literally just had to drive their haulers to France are already setting up.
That's rough. That is rough. Well, I'm sure it's not just you guys dealing with air freight and sea freight and all that stuff. There's other teams that do go from the U.S. over to France to do this race.
Right.
I mean, all right. So, did you get to experience anything of France?
Yeah. So France is anybody that's never been to Europe, and I've been to France, I've been to Spain, I've been in the UK. This was all 4 with the team this year.
Nice.
So anybody that's never been to Europe, France in particular, the culture is completely different.
Absolutely.
The-
Anywhere in Europe is totally different.
Right. The mannerisms, the expectations, the culture, obviously, it's all different. Yeah, I saw France was really cool. I want to say the biggest thing you first notice about Le Mans is how old Le Mans is. And Le Mans is like, they tell you Le Mans is like this really small town, which it is, but there is infrastructure there.
Right.
They have bars, they have clubs, they have Walmart. There it's called Carrefour. That's their version of like Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, got to go out to a bar while I was there. Obviously every night we're eating out our favorite restaurant there, or the guy's favorite restaurant I should say now is it's called we can't pronounce it right, obviously. It's called Baracco Bouffe. Some French beef name. There's a cow on the sign. I don't even know. Something with beef. So, and we can't read crap off the menu. Even Google Translate doesn't translate it.
Oh boy.
Directly.
Just point at something.
Literally, we had one guy, a designated guy that just remembered what the dish was called. We all ordered the same thing, and it was literally this dish with almost flank steak stacked in 4 layers on this very neat, pristine, clean plate. Because this is how they do it there.
Yeah.
With this
Now, is this like a bar type area?
No, this is a restaurant.
Okay.
And this is the building, this restaurant building looks like it was built in the Renaissance. Yeah. It's got vines growing on the outside. It's got the original cobblestone
Well, yeah, Europe's old, man.
Yeah.
I mean, any part of Europe is gonna be old. I mean, half of it got rebuilt in the 50s, but
right.
I mean, it's old comparing to the U.S., where, oh my gosh, we have a building that was from the 1700s. Cool. They have a building from 200 or God knows how old, right? So, yeah, Europe is definitely old in comparison to the United States stuff, and the culture is going to show it, and everything else like that. So, all right, well, at least you got to experience some of Paris.
Yeah. So,
not Paris, France.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Le Mans was awesome. The one thing I did notice too, maybe it was just me, the smell. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just really old sewage systems, which obviously it is.
Oh, okay.
The first thing I smelled when we stayed at this hotel, which by the way, these hotel rooms, these are not American-sized hotel rooms.
They're tiny.
They're tiny. The beds are twins, or what a twin would be.
Yeah.
And you're sharing this with a teammate, obviously. And then
In the other bed.
yes. Right. Yeah. No. If it was, I would have had some words. I would have been like, I'm not the new guy anymore. Like, we need to talk. So it's
Well,
that.
after the Indianapolis thing, maybe somebody turned.
Right. Yeah. Dude, you know what? We were all kissing that row of bricks at the same time. Maybe the chi or the whatever just transferred, and we just all became butt buddies right then and there. But
If anybody doesn't know, I mean, realistically, if you're on a race team, y'all are brothers at that point, or brother and sister, whatever it is. I mean, you guys work in such tight quarters.
Yep.
And this is for a lot of shops. I mean, you are going to be your family at that point. I mean, think about it. You're working for 8, that's a very light day, 8 hours. Typically, you're working
14, 15.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're in that shop a lot more than you are with the rest of your family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're your family at that point.
Oh, they are. Those guys are and you know what? We don't, just to kind of say this now, just for, people that watch this, young kids trying to get in, whoever, you do spend almost every waking moment with these guys, but even though you may not be friends, quote unquote, and you don't hang out outside of work, you are still very much, like you said, it is like a family.
Yep.
Like all those guys, not to get like corny or anything or get too deep into it, but like those guys were like my brothers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they I only spent a season with them, but if at any point, and I mean Chris said it himself during the season, like there was times with our sister team where they did a few questionable things and tensions got a little high, and Chris said himself, like, we're not going to start anything, but if one of them wants to come to our box and try to start something, then
we will finish it.
Oh yeah, then we're going to finish it. So yeah, those guys have your back, you have their back. That's just how it works. But yeah, no, at Le Mans was the food was great. And being a single 25-year-old guy in France, yeah.
You explored.
Oh, yeah, the European women are great. They don't believe in wearing bras there.
Oh boy.
Yeah. No, it was
You're a race car mechanic?
Yeah. Well, maybe in like some small rinky-dink town in other parts of France. In Le Mans, they see so many of those guys every year. It's like whatever.
No biggie.
Yeah, but no. So leading up into the race, essentially, like I said, the infrastructure, everything, it's massive. And then the biggest thing, I don't know if you ever saw me post it on my Instagram story. There's this giant hospitality building with Cadillac all over it. That is like every team had one. Ours and Porsche's obviously were the biggest.
Right.
And this is like when I say big, this is like a 2 almost tri-decker fabbed structure that a whole army of people assembled. And every day for breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinner, depending on how late we were there, it's all catered.
Damn.
And it's something different every single day.
Every single meal.
Yep, is different.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the food was definitely...
Oh, so the food was great, don't get me wrong, but it's an adjustment because over there, like, and it's weird to say, you would think like, oh, food. No. Over there, like, they don't do preservatives.
Yep.
They don't even really do seasoning. So it's like the flavor is like, that's just all.
It's the flavor.
It's the food. Yeah. So, I mean,
dude, you don't have to go that far. I mean, I went to Canada not too long ago, and a soda tastes different.
It does.
I mean, this is a whole different conversation, but you go into the food that is in the United States market.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. Like, it is. You start looking at it, it's not good for you.
No,
it's at all. You go and you like a bag of potato chips. You look at the ingredients in the U.S. side and you look at the ingredients in like the Canada side, and you're just like, why can I pronounce all the stuff on the Canada label, but I can't pronounce half the stuff on the U.S. label? So I can only imagine that you go into Europe, it's even more extreme, so to speak.
Right.
Where, I mean, yeah.
Fanta is a good example, really good example. Fanta over there is essentially carbonated orange juice.
Yep.
Really good. You come over, like, it's the color of orange juice. You come over here and it looks like dye.
Mm-hmm.
Orange dye.
Do you know the history of Fanta?
Yes, I do. And I know that they're,
Some people could almost say they did not see that coming
yeah, it's
when they look into the history of Fanta.
I don't even think they saw the Americans taking that and absolutely just sugar frying it themselves.
Yep. You got to think, who was it? Coke?
Yeah, that was their direct competitor. Yeah.
Yep. They went over there and be like, we're going to go ahead and take a lot of your technology. We're also going to take that orange thing over there.
Yep. Yeah, so yeah, everything over there is clean. I mean, when we first flew back actually, so to kind of give you a glimpse into the scale of this, we did not just do Le Mans in June. We did Detroit. We then flew straight from Detroit to Le Mans. I was in Le Mans for 2 weeks, and then I flew straight to Watkins Glen
Holy crap.
to do the Salem 6 hours, and then I went home. I didn't get home until I left.
So you were gone for a month.
I left at the end of May. I didn't get home until the end of June, first week of July.
So I'm just thinking like the logistics side of it, how just crazy that is. 3 separate cars, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. So leading up to this month of mayhem,
It was all hands on deck, balls to the wall. We literally had just come off of the West Coast races. So now, and mind you, because of this, like you said, we have to build all of this in advance.
yep.
And actually, now, once we were done with Le Mans this year, we were already planning for Le Mans 26.
Oh yeah.
You have to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
The logistics, waiting does not allow it.
Nope.
So as soon as you have the green light from your manufacturer that you are going again and you get that worked out, you go.
I'm pretty sure the best feeling in the world was the last year Audi went to Le Mans for the crew guys. Like, oh, we don't have to go back next year.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing experience. Like, I would love to go back to win it, but
It's crazy.
I don't miss everything else about it.
So obviously you're going to have your practices, you're going to have your qualifyings.
Right.
They have like multiple qualifyings, don't they?
They do. So the way it works in WEC compared to IMSA, so in IMSA you got qualifying.
Yeah.
In WEC, you have obviously the practices. Then you have qualifying. Then you have to qualify in a specific spot just to make it into what's called Hyperpole. Once you make it into Hyperpole 1, there is a Hyperpole 2. Hyperpole 2 is what decides what position you're going to start when the race starts. So actually this year, for anybody that doesn't know, Cadillac Racing with Action Express, we actually did set the official fastest lap ever at Le Mans.
Hell yeah.
And we also won Hyperpole.
Nice. I mean, it's 2 good check boxes.
Right. So, and that was how we approached it. We didn't approach it as we're coming in here to win. We have boxes to check off, and we're going to take this one stage at a time. The first stage was to qualify. We qualified, make it into Hyperpole. After that, get a good result in Hyperpole. After that, Hyperpole 2, we may have got P1 in Hyperpole 1, but like I said, the main one is Hyperpole 2. So in Hyperpole 2, we placed P8. So we start the race in P8. But it was definitely a achievement nonetheless, because it showed what we as a team were capable of, being the underdogs and being one of the smallest teams there.
Yeah.
And it showed what Cadillac is capable of, which is an infant program.
I mean, when you look at realistically, for anybody that's never tuned into Le Mans, there are, 10, 15 guys on some of these Porsche teams, like the Porsche factory team, where they are out of freaking Germany. I think it's Stuttgart.
Yep.
These guys are just like beehives over this car. And they have a ton of engineering backing with it.
Yep.
And you're telling me you have...
We had
7 on your team specifically?
Plus the flying guys, we had 15 total. That's total.
That's it.
That's not on the car. Like you said, that's 17 guys on the car at Porsche plus 40 logistics.
Yep. You have
15 total.
all of it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's impressive.
About
Now,
15, yeah.
What did you guys finish up in Le Mans?
So unfortunately, we DNF'd.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
How
had
far in?
We got about we DNF'd 6 hours left to go.
Damn.
So I mean,
Almost there.
yeah, really close.
What happened to the car?
I'm not at liberty to disclose that.
Some mechanical failure?
Yes.
Damn.
Just can't tell you what part.
That's fine. It's mechanical failure though.
Yeah.
That's rough, man. And you run into that. I mean, you're going from low speed corners, high speed corners, extremely high speed straights. I mean, it is grueling. I mean, you see these cars go out on the starting line.
Yep.
And they're this most pristine looking car, like beautiful. And you see these things finish up 24 hours later, and it literally looks like they went through a war.
Yep.
I mean, they are just beaten up, tattered. Wraps are peeling off of it. I mean, it's just soot everywhere on them.
Yep.
I mean, they are torn up after these 24 hours. I mean, you'll run into that in Daytona, but I just feel like Le Mans is just so much more of a monster.
It is, and you know, obviously being the tire guy, which I did have some help, but I practically did that race by myself as a tire guy.
Carrying tires?
No, as the
tire
guy. Like purging them, setting all of them, keeping up with them during the race.
That's a lot, man. So
Cleaning
you're
them.
basically taking
I didn't sleep.
cat naps,
I didn't sleep.
24 hours. What was your favorite energy drink?
Didn't have one.
No? Coffee?
Nope.
Just straight adrenaline?
And purpose.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, like I took that job. I was by no means the best tire guy. I took that job very seriously, though. Like, I may have never wanted it, but when he gave it to me, like you said before, like, fuck yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah.
All right, so you get that one Le Mans. Would you do it again?
I would. It would, I would go because as a guy in motorsports,
You can't not go.
you can't not go. Even if you know you're probably not going to win for whatever reason, you have to try.
Right.
Like, this is the entire reason.
Dude, I've seen cars that were leading. I mean, one of Audi's last, I don't know if it was their last or second to last race, middle of the night, I think they got taken out.
Yeah.
Like, lead car, second place car, just wiped out. And that wasn't mechanical failure. That was incident.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And that, you know what? That just opened the door.
And you know,
Even Toyota, I think Toyota's first or second time out, they were like a true competitor for the Audis out there. And then all of a sudden, like, they all DNF'd.
right.
And it was a 1-2-3 Audi finish. Or 1-2 Audi finish, and I think somebody else got third.
Right. And I will say, when something like that at Le Mans happens, which, by the way, a little bit of a veer off here, but at Le Mans, I think we placed. So for anybody that doesn't know, at Le Mans, they hold the pit crew challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, or the pit stop challenge. So essentially, what it is it's literally like they open up the pit road for it's like a fan walk kind of thing.
Yep.
And the officials go from box to box or garage to garage, and you are timed to see who can do the fastest stop. Unofficially, because we didn't win this, and I'm going to throw some shade here. Surprise, surprise. Peugeot won it. It's France.
Yeah.
Unofficially, we set the fastest time. We did a 9.3.
Damn. That's booking it.
And Le Mans, it is. And Le Mans stops they're similar, but they are different from IMSA stops. You do have 2 tire carriers for Le Mans, which I did not do the main competition stop, but I did practice it. And it is a whole
Different ball game.
beast. You have to dig. Like, I'm starting from the rear with my tire. My changer's right next to me, which would have been Bill, the crew chief at that point. Bill has to jet to the left rear. We're starting with the outsides. I have to haul ass around to get around him and flip my whole body and then immediately go in right after him. As soon as I'm done doing that, I have to spring off and pick up the old tire, run that back. I have to drop it across a yellow line, which separates what they call the working area and the actual pit box. And if you don't get it over that line, it's a penalty.
Damn.
So from there, I have to jump to the new tire that's sitting right by the right rear. And then I have to, and this is not like I pick it up and then shuffle it over. I'm literally picking it up and then I have to swing it about 2 feet.
You're almost throwing it with your
into
body.
The hole.
Damn. Yeah, that is a whole different monster, isn't it?
It is. And it was, I'm just grateful that I got to actually practice and like actually showcase to some of those other guys what not only I was capable of, but as the team as a whole. And I mean, those guys are, there's a reason, like the sticker I gave you, the number 31 Hitman, there's a reason we earned the nickname Hitman.
Nice.
Fastest guys on pit road in IMSA and arguably WEC. But yeah, no, back to the main thing though. But yeah, when we, essentially what happened is Frederick Vesti, one of our part-time drivers, he essentially came on the radio around 6 hours ago with this mechanical issue. And he said, hey, like, this just happened. The car's slowing down. And then he told us what happened. And, like, he said, yeah, we're done.
Because they're a hybrid car, right?
Yes.
This is the one that, like, takes off in electric. And
right.
then all of a sudden, it's just like the devil comes to life.
Right. So
it's the only way I can describe it. I mean, it's probably one of the best sounding cars out there.
Right. No, and I agree, like, especially with the V8. So in WEC, those cars are true hybrids. IMSA cars are not. The battery is essentially there for a bump start. So that first like 5 seconds after they take off, right before the engine kicks on, that's just to get the car going. In WEC, it is a true like hybrid, like almost 50-50 split between the ICE.
So even though you have 4 cars going out in for Cadillac, you realistically have 2 different styles out there, or is everything transmitted to the same style?
2 different styles.
So you have the U.S. version, so to speak.
Correct. That's been modified to meet WEC standards. Yes.
Okay.
Such as like changing out the leader light panel, some of the sensors that are WEC specific, things like that. But for all intents and purposes, the Wayne Taylor car and the Action Express car were LMDH cars. They were not LMH cars. So there's a huge contrast there. But the fact that we set a lap record with a car that is arguably inferior to the hypercar is a testament.
So, well, you also have 2 different things, right? You have the hybrid system that is technically saving fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you guys aren't really using that hybrid for longevity, more of like a boost maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, you're going to have the faster car, but that's also going to entail more pit stops because you need to take on more fuel and all that stuff. So technically your race is going to be even longer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it was, but yeah, as soon as that happened, like, there was like this eerie moment of silence.
like, fuck.
Yeah, like everybody just, like, and I'm literally in the back, like, cleaning tires. I'm getting the next set ready to go on because he's supposed to be coming in a little bit to get his new set of tires. As soon as he said that, I stopped. And I'm in, where my tire area is, it's in that structure that's disconnected from the garage.
Yeah.
So I cannot see the guys because it's like a maze. I can't see them unless I walk into the garage. Yeah. I literally threw everything on the floor. I let the tire just fall. Walked to the garage, and nobody's like doing this, like freaking out, like no mouth agape. Like it's literally just like, okay,
fuck.
Yeah, and like our fueler, he's actually a year younger than me, but he way more experience in racing. He's an awesome guy, but he literally, like, I looked at his face, like his face said it all. Like it was that like glazed overlook. It's like that, like he's not crying, but it's
over.
It's there.
I can see it on your face right now.
Yeah. No, I'm getting emotional talking about it. Like it's.
So, all right, you get done with them all. That sucks. Well, at least the car came back in one piece.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too torn up. Um, what you're not with them anymore.
Nope.
So what kind of triggered me to hit you up and get on this? I'm on Facebook, and all of a sudden I see you post up a brand new or barely used truck. I'm like, why is he posting up a dealership truck? What's going on here?
Yep.
And you're like, yeah, man, I'm no longer doing the racing stuff. What happened?
Yeah, so
You don't have to get into like crazy details, this and that, but
no, that's all right. Yeah, no, there were just some things that weren't working with me and the team. And for all intents and purposes, like it was just like it was an experience thing. I mean, like it was like there were some mistakes that I had made while I was kind of getting thrown into the fire and like trying to keep up. And a lot of that was probably my fault, like probably not being as switched on as I could have been. Not even asking something as simple as asking enough questions.
yeah,
And just trying to like take on as much as I could and just like learn with it instead of just like taking a step back and being like, okay, like I need clarification on certain things. Yeah, there were because of those few, at least I can only assume that's what attributed to it. Yeah, no, right after Indy, I had a talk with the director of race operations and Mike. And yeah, no, they didn't think it was working out anymore. He said like, hey man, like it was you're an amazing person. Really glad to have worked with you. It was a freaking honor to get a win with you in Indy. But he said, yeah, like, I don't think you're gonna have a problem finding a job somewhere else with another team. You're an awesome guy, and he said, take what you've learned here and utilize it. So, yeah, no, I want to say I left about 3 weeks ago now. Yeah, currently I'm working at Randy Marion Subaru in Mooresville. Shout out to those guys. Those guys are awesome. I actually went back into sales, so I'm kind of flexing my real estate salesman muscle, just in a different industry now.
yeah,
This is kind of like this is not a I'm done with racing.
yeah.
This is a
Breather.
This is a breather while I evaluate my next steps.
So you kind of need the disconnect for a little bit.
Right.
I mean, you're also at the end of the quote unquote season. What we call season here is the NASCAR season.
Yep.
So I mean, who knows what's going to bring up next year? So would you say like you're kind of already like burnt out, or you were burnt out when you made the decision? You know what? Time to step back from racing. Let me reevaluate some stuff.
A little bit, yeah.
Because I would, dude. I mean,
and there were some things. A lot of people tell me, and I am right. Like when I say this is not to say that I'm not eternally grateful for the opportunities I've had. I am. Like it's less than 1% of the population that ever has the chance to do this. And a lot of people tell me like, when I've told friends and family, well, mainly friends, like, oh, like why the heck would you do that? Like racing's so awesome. I'm like, yes, but it is a lot. I'm like,
I mean, so this is the way I think about it, right? If you want to get into racing, yeah, it's go, fast, fast, fast. But if you're looking at it from
a normal job perspective,
it's very taxing on yourself,
yep,
the body, the mind, your social life.
Yep.
I mean, I know there's teams, especially the smaller teams, where they get maybe a Monday off.
Yeah.
Because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're building a car.
Yep.
Friday, they're going out
Yep.
with the car, with the team. So you might get like a half day off. And then Saturday, you're qualifying. And Sunday, you're racing if you're on a cup team.
Right.
Or you might get Sunday off because you went out and raced on Saturday on the Xfinity team. So you get Sunday and like half a Monday off or something like that until the car gets back and teardown's done. So it's very taxing. It's very grueling. I can only imagine. I mean, you're telling me that you were gone for a month for 3 different races. That's a lot, man.
It is. And, to the credit of Action Express, they are an amazing company to work for. They truly, I never once felt like I was overworked. They I think every Friday in July when we got back from that trip, every Friday in July we had off.
Nice.
All those other days, I think we got let go early. And because of all the hours we worked, I want to say in a span of a week, it was either a week or pushing that 2 weeks. I worked like 130 hours,
Damn.
and I got paid.
Did they pay OT?
Yes, I got paid. I want
Shit.
to say $4,000 on one check.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going from $100 a day at
To yeah,
God knows what. You don't have to disclose, but
it was a huge pay increase. Yeah,
so you hit it.
I
I
did.
mean, you hit it. Do you think? Do you think this almost ended? Like, we won't say ended, but do you think the year and a half of the racing career kind of ended up like your Le Mans finish?
Yeah, it
Not to
was.
cap it like that,
No,
but
no, no, no. I definitely understand what you mean by that. Yeah, it was like this. I'd like to almost say, not to like call myself this, but like one hit wonders.
nah, you ain't.
Right, right. But you know what I'm getting at. It's like this very, and it can be a good thing or a bad thing the way you look at it. But I choose to look at it as a good thing. But it's this like very fast meteoric rise,
Yeah,
and then you hit this ceiling, and then it like flattens out. And then from there, that's when I think after it flattens out, after the climax, and you start to kind of come down, that's where you start to really see, okay, this is how this works.
yeah,
These are the next steps. This is how I find longevity
yep.
in this sport.
So, yep, 100%. I don't think you're done racing. I definitely think that you're going to go back to in some type of capacity, whether it's, road crew guy or shop guy or maybe a little bit of both. But I think at the end of the day, there's no way that you had that much fire and you're going to, at what, 25 you said?
Yep.
You're not going to sell cars for the rest of your life. Hell no. That's not happening.
Yeah. I don't plan on it. Just to kind of, I know me and you kind of glazed over it a little bit, but just to kind of a glimpse into what I've got going on next, like, before I kind of had a little stint, I was training to pit when I was with Alpha Prime, actually.
Yeah.
Way, kind of a backtrack a little bit. I was training to be a tire carrier in NASCAR on the truck and Xfinity side. Kind of bounced around from private coaches. Met one of them actually through one of my coworkers at Hendrick Motorsports.
Nice.
That he's a rear tire changer actually in the Xfinity series. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting back into now. Just at a proper facility now with from what it seems like, what I've heard, very experienced coaches, very good program. So yeah, now the next steps are kind of going all in back into that, and then jumping back into the NASCAR side of things, and then at this point, I would say
You think there's a little bit more longevity on the NASCAR side, like a little less burnout fatigue?
I do, just because I found myself toward the end of my time in NTI, obviously my last class, well, not obviously, but my last class was the pit class.
Yep.
And it was with Kazura. If there's anybody I'd rather do it with besides Bill, it's Kazura.
Yeah.
While towards the end of that, when we started doing that class, like I fell in love with it. Like I fell in love with the process, the whole symphony, like the puzzle that all comes together. And I got a really good taste of it in IMSA, but I was always like, I never had a chance to prove myself in NASCAR, especially with the trend that they've moved towards nowadays where they do use those high speed former D1 professional athletes to pit the cars now.
Yeah.
It's like, well, now I've got a real shot. I've got the opportunity and the people to back me and the equipment, the training regimen and all that. I know how this business works. And, I used to work with pit guys. So I've got a glimpse into what it takes to get to that level and stay there.
Yeah.
So that's actually, I would definitely say for sure that's my next goal now is to make it onto a cup team and to pit at that level. To me, that's, like you said, in terms of being a mechanic and like in terms of racing, I definitely went to that pinnacle already. And then in my opinion now, in terms of as far as pitting goes, I think it's time to chase that pinnacle, which I do believe is NASCAR.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. I think just to kind of wrap it up, I think you're going to do great. I mean, you have done in your tiny time in your racing career. you've done way more than some guys do in a 5-year career, 10-year career, 15-year career. I mean, you have hit life goals that I'm still over here like jaw dropped over, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've worked on the NASCAR stuff, you've worked on IMSA stuff, you've gone to Le Mans. I mean, you've done a lot, and you have hustled and busted your butt going from a real estate agent, realistically, out in Texas to going back to school, running through all the crap with high school kids, essentially, because a lot of the kids coming out of that school are high school kids.
Right.
And dealing with all the crap, seeing through it all, focusing on all the positive, and basically just being like headstrong. I mean, not too many people go from realtor to student to Audi tech to NASCAR grunt guy to IMSA Le Mans running, tire carrier, basically. Yep. I mean, you've done a lot, man. You have done a lot. And I really hope, at the end of the day, the goods, the bads.
Yep.
You know what you need to improve on. And I hope that whoever gets to watch this can look at your story and be like, all right, cool. Maybe I should have stayed a Hendrick a little bit longer, or, done something a little bit different. There's always the what ifs in life, but I've always looked back and said, all right, the what ifs are not the I should have done this different.
Right.
It's the let me learn from the what if moments, right? Like, in the future, this is what I'm going to do. I mean, and you're going right back to school now, right? You're going to Pitt.
Yep.
That's the name of the school, and they focus solely on Pitt.
Yep. That's it.
I mean, that's all they do. Where UTI, they teach you how a light bulb turns on, and this is a brake pad, and how brakes work, and then you would eventually end up on the NASCAR side doing some fab stuff, and 3 weeks of Pitt versus Pitt is this conclave of all of it. So, dude, that's awesome. You don't know how much I appreciate you coming on. It's been, all in all, over a 3-hour podcast. I thought Bill had me beat with 2 hours. He's coming back because we didn't finish.
Yeah.
So this is probably going to be a 3-parter. But, dude, I appreciate it so much. I know you've been busy, especially with this new job, learning or rehoning your skills selling cars. So if you need a house, hit Jayden up. If you need a truck or a car, hit Jayden up.
Let me know, guys. I'm slanging. I'm ready to turn and burn.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
sir.
Right. All right, brother. Thank you so much, man.